staying the
Group
distance.
3 Ballyroan Stakes, a race with a history of being a Melbourne Cup prep race for Irish-based horses. Vauban, Vinnie Rowe and Johannes Vermeer, to name a few. Today the favourite was Sons and Lovers at around $2.20, with Crystal Black, the next pick, at about $2.35.
And the Tote Ballyroan Stakes, Layfayette a little slowly into stride, but closes up quickly on his rivals. In the early stages, Sons and Lovers takes them along, tracked by market rival Crystal Black. See the bosses towards the inside of Siege of Troy. The grey at the back, This Song Is For You, alongside Layfayette as they turn. And head for the back straight. Sons and Lovers goes along in front under Dylan Brown McMonigal, leads by a little less than 2 lengths to Crystal Black and Colin Keane. A similar break then to See the Boss. Blue and gold colours the inside under Shane Foley alongside Siege of Troy. And Ben Cohen, and at the back, This Song Is For You, Ronan Whelan, with Layfayette to the outside, Chris Hayes. As they head down the back straight, approaching the 9 furlong point, with a lead of just over a length. Sons and Lovers continues to show the way, the green and white colours of Crystal Black, continuing to track the leader, just over a length away then to See the Boss, with Siege of Troy fourth on the outside. Keane on the inner at the back is This Song Is For You, and alongside Layfayette as they continue to the 7 furlong point directly opposite the stands. Very few changes as Sons and Lovers continues to lead by less than a length now to Crystal Black in second. See the Boss remains third, just ahead of Siege of Troy. This Song Is For You, and Layfayette at the back, but less than 6 lengths off the lead. That lead still held by Sons and Lovers as they head on with about 5.5 furlongs to race. Sons and Lovers, Crystal Black. See the Boss, Siege of Troy the outside, This Song Is For You. Layfayette still at the back, but they've tightened up slightly as they continue to the turn out of the back straight. Sons and Lovers by less than a length to Crystal Black. A length and a half away to See the Boss and Layfayette. And This Song Is For You at the back, with Layfayette, Siege of Troy up on the outside of See the Boss as they head for the 3 furlong pole. Sons and Lovers on the inside, and the white and pink, the green and white on the outer, Crystal Black. And they're tracked by Siege of Troy trying to close on the outside. On the inside is See the Boss. Behind them, Layfayette has relegated This Song Is For You to be the back marker as they head on. Passing the 2. Sons and Lovers tackled by Crystal Black. Down the outside, Siege of Troy trying to challenge. Behind them, See the Boss, and then This Song Is For You and Layfayette as they head to the furlong pole. On the rail, Sons and Lovers alongside Crystal Black. They fight it out, length and a half in front. Siege of Troy trying to stay on in the centre of the course, well inside the final furlong. Sons and Lovers on the rail. Crystal Black in the centre, and Siege of Troy finishing well, but Sons and Lovers wins the Ballyroan, completing a double for Joseph O'Brien and Dylan Brown McMonagall. Crystal Black second, Siege of Troy third, break to See the Boss, This Song Is For You, and finally Layfayette.
Sons and Lovers proves too good, beating last year's winner Crystal Black, who was touted to be Flemington bound last year, only to pick up an infection. Those connections have made it clear they're focusing on the Irish St Ledger this year with Crystal Black. As for today's winner, Sons and Lovers, he's trained by 2-time Melbourne Cup winning trainer Joseph O'Brien, and he's owned by the same connections who own Absurd. If you stay tuned, you can hear a little from the trainer, and we'll take a look at some updated Melbourne Cup odds after he speaks.
The owners obviously have a bit of history with the Melbourne Cup. Could that be a possibility for this?
Yeah, it absolutely could be. He meets the qualifications now, being a group winner, and he had to get placed today to do that. And as well as Melbourne, there's a number of international races that would potentially suit him, through the winter. So I'd say that is a legitimate possibility.
That's exciting. So anything in mind for where we might see him next, or could he be off on his travels sooner rather than later?
I think we'll see how he comes home from today, but my immediate thought would be to come back here Champions Weekend for the mile and a half. The mile and a half is at the Kiltiernan Stakes.
We're looking at Bet365 first, and they've got recent Goodwood Cup winner Scandinavia, the 3-year-old, as favourite, with Sir Delius and Vauban close by. They're at Waterhouse Bot runners. Al Riffer, a Joseph O'Brien runner, is fourth. He won the Curragh Cup impressively. Anyway, we'll skip down the order to find today's Ballyroan Stakes winner at $21. That's the Sons and Lovers. You can also see Trinity College at $21. He's a new arrival at the Chris Wallace stable, most likely to be aimed at the Cox Plate, according to reports. Now, scrolling further down, I'll highlight a few that I don't think will come. Red Entor, Sunrise Earth and Tower of London. I can't imagine the Tenno Show spring winner Red Entor coming out to Australia to carry 60 kilograms, which I would guess the VRC would give him. The other Japanese horse that I highlighted, Sunrise Earth, hasn't been mentioned in the media, and Tower of London, there's nothing been said about him and Australia, though he did have a return to racing in April, running 5th of 7 in a Group 3 over 2,000 metres. Now, Golden Snap has been mentioned in an article as being bound for Australia. She's a 5-year-old mare from Japan. At this stage, if qualifying conditions remain the same, she'll have to do something good in Australia just to qualify and to make the 24-horse field win a significant race. Then there's Presage Nocturne, a grey horse from France. He's done enough to qualify and should make the 24-horse field without having to do anything in Australia before the Cup. A quick shout out to some recent commenters on the YouTube page, someone who calls themselves Salmonim11, who alerted me to some new names under the Chris Waller banner, and a horse called Sam Hawkins that William Haggis may bring to Sydney in the spring. Also, Balcony 8084, you asked if I thought the smaller number of foreign nominations that had been made for the Caulfield Cup and Cox Plate would change for the Melbourne Cup. Well, I don't think it will change. There have been a few trainers voice their discontent with the VRC's woke veterinary protocols since last year's Jan Bruegel debacle. Yeah, I think there's somewhat of a boycott going on. Now, a quick squiz at Palmerbet. They're a bit keen on locally trained Deacon. He's second pick for them, with Sir Dilius at the top and Scandinavia as their third pick. A lot of the same names appearing throughout their list, but probably around $8 or $10 shorter in most cases. That's a pity, because I do have Palmerbet as the best competitor, Bet365, in terms of odds offered. Unfortunately, Bet365, not really ones that give much in the bonus bet category though. I've recently got a website up and running where the best thing to do right now is look at the bulletin board. Some bits are unfinished and some bits haven't been optimised for mobile phone, unfortunately. Stay tuned to Staying the Distance, the Melbourne Cup and Horse Racing channel for more as we get closer to Melbourne Cup season.
Will commence again if you try to take our firearms.